And welcome back to Hannity. So earlier today at Trump Tower, Donald Trump hosted a closed-door meeting with many prominent religious figures and leaders. And here's what the GOP frontrunner said after that meeting.
I thought it was an absolutely amazing, it lasted for 2.5 hours. We came up with lots of good ideas and lots of future ideas, but I thought it was an amazing meeting.
And how did you address some of the concerns that were raised?
Well, I think we'll be addressing them over the coming months and even over the coming years. I mean, these are deep-seated difficulties that certain communities have, and we're going to address them. And certainly if I'm put in a position where I can do something about them, which in this case happens to be president, we will be working very, very closely with everybody, and we're going to be solving a lot of problems.
Here now are some of the men that attended that meeting. From the Compassion Worship Center, Bishop Wallace Cherry is with us, the founder and pastor of the Bethel Family Worship Center and author of Elephants in the Church. Bishop George Bloomer is with us, and the pastor of the Wisdom Center, Dr. Mike Murdoch. Guys, good to see you all.
Good to see you.
All right.
Good to see you.
It was interesting because I read the story about Pastor Darrell Scott. Originally, there was 30 or 40 guys. They were going to endorse Trump. Then a lot of other people got invited. He said it was his mistake. He miscommunicated to people because some of the pastors just wanted to meet with him and not endorse. Is that the story you heard?
The story I heard, that we just wanted to meet with him.
Yeah.
I heard no pressure, no invitation. I was not requested to endorse him. Nobody else that I know of was.
Yeah, tell us about the meeting. What did you think of the meeting?
Well, this is my fourth time meeting with him. It was a great meeting. I went to the meeting this time to raise a question about some of the things that's been happening on the campaign, the racial issues with the some things that he had said about the,
what in particular?
The Black Lives Matter Heckler. Thank you very much. Heckler.
That too, right? It happens to me when I speak too, Pastor.
And what impressed me was that I raised that question. I was the one who raised the question to talk to him about that. For a half an hour to 40 minutes, we discussed that issue.
And how'd you feel after it?
I felt good about that. I was okay with what, his answers to what we had put in front of him.
Let me ask Pastor Bishop Cherry this. Bishop, when they were asking the Democratic candidates, do Black Lives Matter or all lives matter? I was a little shocked at the answer. Bernie Sanders and Martin O'Malley and Hillary Clinton. I was taught to believe that we're all children of God, that we're all God's children. What's the answer? Isn't the answer all lives matter? Every life matters?
All lives does matter. Sometimes fear, when fear is instituted, things that people fear, they have a tendency to attack. And I truly believe that all lives matter regardless to what your race may be or the culture that you may have grown up in or even to your stance. There again, just as you first stated, God loves us all. And he doesn't separate us by race. He looks at us as being the human race.
I agree with that. I'm going to get a little political here. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I know the majority were African-American black ministers, pastors, bishops, correct?
Latinos also.
And I look at those people that have been hurt the most, I would argue, under this president's policies, disproportionately so, are black Americans, mm-hmm. Hispanic Americans. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I care about all people. I don't want to see 94.5 million Americans out of the labor force. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see the black teenage unemployment rate at 50%. I don't want to see 50 million Americans in poverty. I don't want 46 million Americans on food stamps. These are all millions and millions more since this man's become president. Mm-hmm. Why does the Republican Party have a problem with the black and Hispanic vote? Let me start with you.
I don't know why they have a problem with it, but I was invited to a concert, and the choir came out and started singing. I didn't hear my hymn yet. I was raised on government cheese and government butter, food stamps, welfare. Welfare is the most damnable thing that can happen to this nation. It makes you a permanent underclass. It keeps you running around with your hand out, thinking that you're entitled to something, someone owes you something. So any presidential candidate that is out there as a pastor that would invite me to come and listen to them, I want to hear what they have to say that's going to help change this.
I like what Trump did today. I like that Rand Paul went to historically black colleges to reach out. When I was a local talk show host in Atlanta, I met Hosea Williams and Andy Young and Maynard Jackson and Joseph Lowery. They didn't agree with me. I went to an NAACP meeting there. You know, I was the only guy in the room that was a conservative. And I made a case that when conservatives are advancing that are black, like Clarence Thomas, don't abandon them. That's a good thing for America. Reaction.
I'm persuaded that the voice you honor controls your future. I cannot change your life until I know whose voice you trust. I listened for 3 things today in the meeting. Number 1, the sound of real.
Did he sound real?
As real as any human I've met.
He doesn't really have a filter, does he?
No.
I think that's the secret of his appeal.
Yeah.
I think we've heard calculation. I think we've heard, and you know, he's walking among the snakes. And when you walk among the snakes, you can't always cut off the head.
I think I read something about be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. I read that somewhere.
Yes.
Do you know where I might have read
Bible.
that?
In the
The Bible. Yeah. Oh, you mean it's not, that book is sold more than Trump's book?
Absolutely.
All right. I got to tell him that. All right, good.
Number 2, I look at history. What did you do yesterday? What did you do last week? What did you do with your life? What did you do with your knowledge? Who did you train? Who did you change? The third thing I was listening for today is passion. Passion. And I actually heard it. Oh, I've heard it. I've read all of his books, of course. Never met him until today. But I was listening for the passion. The passion, the craving of Americans.
You
is
can
sacred.
support him.
Yes, I can.
Can you support him?
I'm waiting for a few more songs from the choir.
Okay, good.
We're also waiting for the mistakes from the other candidates.
What do you think? God's going to send a beautiful dove over your head, and the choirs of angels are going to come down and sing to you?
Whoa, that's what they do. And so I'm waiting
I
for a
haven't
few more
seen
songs.
angels yet. They're smart enough to stay away from me. Bishop, what were your thoughts about?
This was a meeting that when I came with an open mind, no preconceived notions. Didn't want to come in as the judge, and I was going to crucify this man. I just came with an open mind just to see what issues that he stand for. How was he going to change? Because so oftentimes, those who are running for president make a lot of promises. And it becomes so.
In my business, we call it BS. You know, I don't want to say a bad word on TV, though.
And
Pastor.
during this time, and during the political time, it's called courting color. And
That's
so,
true.
And courting color, you need to sprinkle a little color on it.
Right.
And so I want to make sure that,
Did you believe him? Did you find him sincere in what he said to you?
What he said today, I would have to say that I kind of felt that he was sincere from the heart. There again, the Bible said that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
And maybe the fact that he doesn't have a filter, you're getting the real him.
Well, and the thing of it is, like, how do I know you? And some things that you may say may offend me.
Me?
But I should at least listen to what you have to say before I judge.
And to sit in the room with a bunch of African-American preachers and stay there for 2 hours and a half, half an hour longer, and take the grueling that was going on inside that room.
And he was not uncomfortable.
And he was not uncomfortable with it.
You know what? I hope, as a conservative who believes conservatism can change the country, I hope this outreach is just the beginning of days. And that I hope that people in the black community, Hispanic community, will listen to ideas, because I think in the end, those ideas will make their lives better.
You're a conservative?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm a concernative.
I'm a conservative and a conservative.
And I'm looking to see.
I want to go to all your churches now. I think
you
I'd
so
like
much.
to. I'd like to sit there. I
thank you
can't
so
sing
much.
though, so don't let me sing. All right. Thank you all for being with us.
Thank
God
you.
bless you all. All right. Coming up next tonight on This Busy Hannity.
I believe, in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that there is such a thing as being too late. And when it comes to climate change, that hour is almost upon us.
All right, the president invoking Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the climate conference in Paris. But is he putting American lives at risk by caring more about the environment and, quote, global warming, climate change, global cooling, than maybe fighting radical Islamists? And then later tonight.
We came out of the White House not only dead broke, but in debt. Awful internet video that we had nothing to do with.
The top 7 Hillary Clinton lies. We put it all together for you so you can make a wise decision when you go in the voting booth. Straight ahead.